What's up guys, welcome back to Destiny Updates. Today I've got another Bungie Mail Sack breakdown for you. We skipped a week just because Bungie was too busy with E3 to deal with it, but now E3 is over and we're back to a normal schedule, so let's get right into it. First question comes from EC437 who asks, when will we see more Destiny? E3 has left me amazed and wanting more. Deej replies, mission complete. Your amazement and further anticipation are the shiny jewels of loot that we will scoop up from the ground as the dust from the battle settles. We now take those shimmering rewards back to our studio and convert them into tools we'll use on our next mission. That objective will be revealed soon, and like all great adventures, it will take us to another faraway destination. So obviously they're not going to tell us already when we're going to get more news, but they did say soon, so you know, that's something. Anyways, the next question comes from Hubla who asks, how many people can be in a public event? Deej replies, enough to make it fun, but not so many that a brave guardian can't shine as the vital and crucial hero that they are. The E3 demo featured 7 players united in a common goal. The exact number of players that will swarm the larger battles in the finished product is a debate that art designers have on a regular basis. So we've actually kind of heard this same answer in an interview already. Basically, they don't have the exact number of players nailed down yet, and we'll just have to wait and see what it ends up being. Now onto the next question. Element Zero asks, why the change in name for the spider tank to Devil Walker? Deej replies, Destiny is pre-alpha. That means the game is alive but not fully grown. We're still exploring the space inside our own imaginations and funneling what we find there into our brand new engine. There's a lot more work left to do, and thus we reserve the right to continue our battle for the best idea, and tinker with our new toys until they land squarely in your controller-wielding hands. Now that's kind of interesting. Personally, I thought the Devil Walker was just like a different variant of the spider tank, maybe for that specific clan of Fallen. I didn't think it was the actual name, but I guess that's still possible. I don't think it's been outright confirmed that the spider tank is now called the Devil Walker. That's just what it was shown as in the demo, and I still think it could very well be just a specific variant of the spider tank. Anyways, on to the next question. Superfly asks, what number will constitute one Fireteam? And Deej answered 3. So that means when we're going through private story areas and stuff, the most friends you can take with you is 3, but that's still a decent number in my opinion, and I think it works well for the Fireteam size. Plus, we've already seen that public events will have more players than that, and I'm sure competitive multiplayer will have a lot more. Plus, who knows about raids and all those other game modes? I'm sure there'll be plenty of areas where you can come across more than 3 people. Now moving on, the next question comes from Fraser Boss who asks, what was in the backpack? Now those of you who watched my previous mail sack breakdown will know that Deej had to make sort of an emergency delivery of a backpack down to LA right before E3 started. We didn't know what was in the backpack, but it was obviously important and related to Destiny. So here's the answer. Deej says data. Some of the data that was on display in the Rona, 100 feet wide and 2 stories high. Seeing Destiny in the round was one of the most awesome spectacles on display in our booth at E3. I put a toothbrush in that backpack too. Always brush your teeth when you're on a steady diet of sweet, sweet imagery from the Destiny universe. Now if you missed my previous video where I talked about this, basically Bungie set up this giant 180-degree screen where they showed a bunch of awesome Destiny imagery portraying the Traveler coming through our solar system, bestowing its magic onto our planets. Now onto the next question. WCD45 says, you've had some criticism for not showing more of the world, and that demo was identical each day. Was that a conscious decision to leave more surprises when we finally get hold of Destiny? Or did you just want to highlight that specific gameplay selection? Deej replies, the story we wanted to tell was the same. We wanted each of you to see yourselves in the role of the hero of this story, only to be joined by powerful allies who would help you overcome overwhelming odds. Everyone who subjected themselves to the demo shared that experience. What was different was the action. Every shot we fired was unique. This world is alive. While the players are on our side, the hostiles are far from cooperative. Some of our shots missed their targets, others took heads right off the shoulders of our combatants, fired fresh off a triumphant slide across the floor. Now personally, I wouldn't really expect them to be showing off multiple demos of the world. I mean, you get one demo ready and you show that one demo. Now I would say that's pretty standard. I don't think you typically see 2 demos at these events. Especially since, as Deej said just a minute ago, Destiny is still pre-alpha and has a long time from launch. So I really don't think they could have a bunch of areas stable and bug-free all ready to go for an event like that. It seems like a bit much. On to the next question. Turrets asks, why is Joseph Staten such a terrible shot? Deej replies, Joe Staten is a deadeye, my good man. Before you judge someone else's marksmanship, lay your own monitor down on the floor and play from a standing position. Then do it with a spotlight shining in your face. Then add a live audience of thousands and a streaming audience of millions. Bet you can't stick it. Now I thought I'd feature this one since when I uploaded the gameplay demo, a few people were complaining that he had a bad shot. So there you go, that's your answer. The next question comes from the Bigger Bang, who asks, did it ever get even slightly tedious playing through the same section of the game over and over again? Now, I'm not going to read this whole answer as it's quite long, but Deej basically said no, not at all. You had to fight to get a seat in front of the audience there. But he also posted quite a long answer from Urk that I thought was kind of interesting. Basically, Urk is saying that before they even went to E3, they were already completely familiar with the gameplay demo, that they rehearsed it over and over again, that sort of thing. Then when it comes to showtime, they get a bit anxious, worrying about how it's going to turn out. But as they start to see smiles and compliments from the fans and the press, they get more relaxed, more comfortable, and more confident. And he said at that point, something truly wonderful happens. You stop caring so much about the reactions. The people manning the controls stop doing demos and start playing Destiny, with big fun grins plastered on their faces. And then he ends it with, that is the furthest thing from tedium. That, my friends, is space magic.
Space magic!
Now I just thought that one was kinda nice. Anyways, on to the next one. Mellow Mojo says, people have been saying the Vanguard is a different class. Deej replies, people say a lot, don't they? The internet is a big place, abundant with theory and speculation of every flavor. Safeguard yourself against spoilers and rumor, my friends. If you didn't hear it on the Bungie blog, it ain't nothing. We'll tell you all about the Vanguards and how you become one of them. You'll learn the truth right here someday. Now, my opinion on the Vanguard is still the same as before, which is I think there's some sort of elite group of the most experienced Guardians that are sent on the most dangerous missions out on the front lines, and I believe it's something you can join once you either complete some sort of major quest lines, or maybe when you get your character to a certain level, something like that. Now onto the next one. Steampunk Mast asks, I have come across all too many games where I'm constantly outdone by someone with a better job or richer parents, and this makes the gameplay particularly cruel. So to what extent will real life money be used, even if you're planning on using it? Deej replies, what we can tell you right now is that the rewards you will gain by playing Destiny, and playing it well, will be earned. You will carve them from the hides of your enemies after you stomp them into the ground of your favorite destinations. Now, to be honest, that answer can be taken different ways. It wasn't very clear, but overall I think it does sound positive. I think we'll have to earn the most important rewards and won't just be able to purchase them with real life money. Moving on to the next question, OP's mom asks, what month are you looking forward to the most in 2014? Deej replies, the one in which Destiny is released to our beloved community of Guardians in waiting. Then adding, you didn't think it would really be that easy, did you? Silly rabbit. On to the final question for this week. SWAT asks, should we look forward to Bungie Day? Deej says, now and forever. Now if you don't know, Bungie Day is the 7th of July and is coming up pretty soon here. They always do something cool for Bungie Day, usually community oriented. What it will be this time around I'm not sure, but hopefully we'll get some new tidbits of news. Now a really annoying thing for me is that I'm not going to be home for Bungie Day. I'm going to be on a trip visiting family, which of course it's great to see family, but the timing just doesn't work out that well. It sucks to be gone for Bungie Day. But the thing is, there's nothing for you guys to worry about. I've got a really good friend who's going to be managing the channel for me while I'm gone, keeping you guys up to date on the latest Destiny news. And I'm not going to be totally dead while I'm gone. I'm still going to be influencing it. I'm going to be telling my friend what videos he needs to make, what news to cover, how he should do it, all that sort of stuff. But for you guys, it shouldn't really be a big deal. The channel should be running pretty much like normal, just with a friend making my videos for me for a bit. I'm actually going to make a proper update video about my trip, just so everything's clear and you guys know exactly what's going on. So expect that coming soon, maybe in a day or something. Anyways, Deej ends this week's mail sack by saying, we love giving you something to look forward to. Sometimes the wait is 2 hours long and subject to swag attacks. He's referring to the long line to see Destiny at E3. Other times it might seem like there's no set date, and that we're waiting for something more abstract, like 2014. No matter the case, there are more highlights ahead of us. We'll do our best to make the wait worth your while. Anyways guys, that's it for this week's mail sack breakdown. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the latest Destiny news, and I'll see you in the next update.